What's up, guys? It's been a bit of break since I've worked on this and shown you guys. I did a bunch of stuff to it off camera, so I'm gonna catch you up on that, and then we may possibly be finishing it today-ish, tomorrow, something like that. So I'll show you. All the rear end is done, good to go. The fuel lines are ran. I made a little bracket for the fuel pump and Z32 fuel filter right there. You got the vent hose dumping down there. Everything right here is super solid, no movement. Battery box with the wing nuts on top, so if you need to pull your battery out, it's pretty easy. You don't need to use tools. Everything inside is all painted black, all welded up. Got the seat mounted. I lowered the driver's seat a little bit from what he had before, just because with the cage and everything, you don't want to be too close to the top bar, but we got a decent amount of clearance now. The 6 points are mounted, which I don't know if they were previously or how they were or what, but now they're all mounted all legally. I got to align the steering wheel because it's not just sort of mocked up. Hydro e-brake is mostly in place and bled to the dual rear calipers. Boom, boom. Alignment is roughly roughed out. Boom, boom. All the wiring up here is done aside from the starter switch, and intercooler piping was previously done. All of this is basically done. Kill switch with the cutout, so the kill switch sits right like that, and you can still open and close the hood with that in place. And right now I am working on making the passenger seat rails to mount up that seat right there. So here's the finished seat bracket. About to throw the seat back in and then shimmy some cars around. We got a cool little GTR in the shop. Porsche's going outside to get some more pressure washing, and Evan's gonna be doing some other stuff. The fuck? I'm having trouble with this. Fuck. I'm having trouble with this. Alright. Starter is hooked up. Already tested that. Fuel pump is now hooked up. So this is legitimately the first attempt at starting it. I don't know which one is fuel. That one's lights. I think that one's supposed to be fuel, but it's not kicking on. I think I need to switch these relays because I'm short one relay. Nope. Nope. Wipers. Not sure. Lights work. BRB. Alright, it's 2 a.m. right now, and there was a loose wire that I forgot. But now, still don't hear fuel pump. Oh wait. I don't know. Let's try it. Nope. Alright, for realsies this time. We got fuel pump. Oh, hell yeah. Third try. Let's let it prime for a second. Woo! It's got a vacuum leak, so that's that, but oh my god. Fucking sick. So right now I got the front of the car jacked up, and the reason I do that is because it makes the radiator the highest point, and it helps you get the air bubbles out of the system. So we're gonna fill it up with some more coolant, and it'll be good to go. So we got the power windows hooked up to this switch that you saw in the last video. Threw a little grommet around there so we didn't rub through those wires, because that would be a bad time. Very awful time. All the wiring under the dash is finished up. The purple's for brake lights, green for the windows, and then everything else. All this is heading to the back. Got the big boy heading to the back right there. I think it's like 2 gauge, 1 gauge, something gauge. I don't know. Kill switch. Boop, doop, boop. And we're throwing the dash back in for the final time. So the hydro e-brake is all plumbed up. Already bled it beforehand. Everything's hooked up down there. The brake pedal is all hooked up. I just need to bleed the brakes. I need to center the steering wheel because currently it's a little off center. That's not very straight. So I need to recenter that once I can drive the car forward and backwards a little bit just to make sure it's all nice and perfect. But shift's great, feels great. Everything's looking good. She's gonna be ready to go in no time. Little bonus that I just finished up, rear firewall, so that if everything catches on fire back there, then you don't catch on fire in here. Made the big sheet. Big sheet slips in pretty tight, and then I had to make those side pieces separate. They bolt in there and there. And then the lower piece is gonna be a permanent, like it's gonna be screwed into the floor in the cage. It doesn't really need to come out ever. This doesn't really need to come out ever either, but it is removable if need be. So you pull those sides and then you pull the whole main piece and it all comes out. It's pretty cool. I'm gonna hit it with the DA just to give it a nice clean finish so you can't see the scratches and whatnot, and then just clean up the edges and it's good to go. So that's all this time. We will be back shortly within the next week or so finishing this bitch up. Need a windshield, everything else that I've listed, and then we're gonna do a sweet friggin' burnout, so stay tuned for that.